had a chance to check out some of your tapes as well, from golfing to softball. So all of that, we've had a chance to see how much of an athlete you are, because
Yes.
you said you beating everybody,
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah. It's just if I really would have pursued whatever sport outside of football, I think I would have been successful because I was very dedicated and determined. I think God did bless me with a lot of athletic ability. So I think if I would have just been serious about all the sports, I could have went far in a lot of them, I believe.
Because you said you taking Jenny Finch long. I believe that's how the story went, right? What you told on the Ultimate Sports Show.
Yeah,
Who's an Olympian.
yeah. She going right, boom, it's out of here. Don't even try it. It's a pride thing that's going. I just gotta. People don't believe in me. I'm telling you, you'd be surprised how good I actually am.
Well, you from Cleveland, so I believe in you, and you went to the Ohio State University, so I totally believe in you. I just got to get out there and see it for myself. But I believe in you.
He looked. I don't know, man. He let me down, man, with the way he let that golf club go, man.
Listen. That was the just jitters. I've never
Okay.
done it before.
Okay.
Wait, see, and the thing about that is nobody tells the full story. That was my first swing ever, right? And it was bad. But if you would have seen my last swing of the day, I was darn near getting it on the green. So I improved drastically in just 3 hours of golfing. Like, come on
How
now.
many times you golf since then?
None. None. Haven't picked the club up since.
You was trying to go yard on that first drive.
Yeah, I was thinking, if I just hit it as far as possible, they'd be impressed. I was trying to impress everybody. When I didn't make contact at all, it threw me off when I just let the club go. But it happens to the best, though. You got to start somewhere.
So, all right. So, do you like golf? You want to take it up, or?
I don't mind it. Is this something? I think I do have to get back on that horse again. I can't let the world just see me out like that. I can't go out like that. I gotta have a redemption story. So I'm gonna get back out there eventually. But right now, my mind is on other things.
I think I could take you, man. I ain't played since high school, but I think
Quit
I
it
could take
golf?
you. Yes.
You actually know how to golf.
Yeah. But look, Tyrus, listen. First of all, I learned how to play by just going out there in high school. I didn't know what I was doing.
I'm gonna let you hold on, Marsha. I'm gonna let you know something. If I get on that green, I'm dangerous. I'm
Okay.
like really.
Okay.
It's getting to the green that's the hardest part. But once I'm on there, it's a
Okay.
wrap.
All right, we're gonna see. I think I can get you.
We gonna be out there all day.
I was just saying that we gonna be out there all day. A bunch of balls lost, man. But no, man. Hey, man. I just wanted to first of all, man. Thank you for coming on, man. At first I didn't think I was like, man, I don't know if he's gonna respond because I don't think he remember me, man. But man, I would take it back to 2013, man, when I first discovered you. I was in the Navy and I read an article about you coming to Ohio State. And my one of our mutual friends, Mike, told me, he's like, hey man, you want to go down to O State? I'm like, bro, I don't care. He's like, yeah, we're gonna go meet dude that just committed down there, my homeboy, because obviously we know your brother.
Yeah.
And I came down there, bro, and I ain't gonna lie, man, you was probably the coolest dude I ever met, man. We was playing 2K.
Yeah, I remember we was in the
You whooped me.
We was in the doors.
Yeah, but no, man. Let's take it back, man. What made you go to Ohio State? Like, what made you actually choose? Actually, you came out of Bedford, one of the best safeties at the time in the area. What made you decide to go down to Columbus and play for Urban?
Well, it was a dream. I mean, before Urban even got there, as a kid, 9 years old, and I was sitting there playing football, and I'm like, man, I really want to do this. Like, I want to do this professionally one day. And I remember watching when they won it in 2002. I was at my grandmother's house, and I was like, man, I want to go to Ohio State. Like that seems really cool. So that's always been my dream. Obviously, when I got that scholarship offer from Tress, I was like, forget everybody else. The dream is right there, and I finally can achieve this dream. So, of course, I had to take that opportunity.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, what man? Obviously, you said you got the offer from Tress. What was the biggest difference that you saw? I mean, obviously you didn't play under Tress, but you saw from Tress to Urban Meyer.
I think Tress is more of a people's person. He's one of those guys that he'll hear what you have to say. He'll understand where you're coming from. I mean, as far as Coach Meyer goes, it's a his way or the highway type thing. But his method works. Obviously, we want it all, but he's more hard nosed. If you get me, like if you ain't doing nothing for the program, like he'll make you feel like you unwanted there, and he makes you uncomfortable, which is it's a good thing because it's like it makes you be like, all right, now I need to get better so I can have a relationship with my coaches and be loved like that. But with Tress, I think he just cared about everybody, no matter if you was playing or not. But with Urban, you had to be like one of those guys, and he had to believe in you for y'all to have a good relationship. Or if not, you'll be like, "What up, coach?" And he'll just walk right past you and won't say anything.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was like that. It was like that.
Oh my God.
I had the privilege of being on both sides. I was in the doghouse when I was a freshman. So like I'd be like, "What up, coach?" And he just walked right past like he ain't say that. Yeah, it was like that. But, once I, you know what though, it was at first I hated it. Like I didn't like it at all. It was like, man, it's disrespectful. But I understood.
Yeah.
I understood why he did it. Like I was like, okay, this is you. He wants to make you uncomfortable, make you work hard, because it's like to him in his mind, he's like, you just taking up a scholarship. Like you're not doing nothing for this program. You just taking up a scholarship and wasting our time, type thing. And then if you think about it. It sounds very harsh, but it's like what happens in the real world. Like if you at work and you're not doing your job and not doing anything to help the company, it's like, well, what the heck are we hiring you for? Why are you here? So it's like it was good for my mind. Like a lot of people won't take it that way. I did. Like it helped me become like a grinder.
Yeah, because I was going to ask those holdovers, did some of them have some trouble adjusting to that type of coaching style? Because I was there during the Cooper years. So,
yeah, you lost. We lost a lot to the team up north. It was actually so when Urban first got there, he started these 5 a.m. workouts where he wouldn't let us go inside the facility. So we was outside. It's January, so it's cold, it's snowing, and he's making us do workouts outside like bear crawls and pull-ups and stuff like that. Yeah, it was crazy. But his goal was to see how much did you want to be here. And a lot of people was transferring up out of there. They were like, it's not what I signed. And I was like, me being young and naive, I'm coming. These is like my first college workouts. Like when I got to college, this is what we were doing. So in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, this is what college is like. Like this is a college workout. Mm-hmm. And everybody like, no, bro, this ain't it. But to me, it was like it was bad, but it really wasn't that bad. Like a lot of people make it seem worse than what it is. At the end of the day, it's a workout, and that's really what it was.
Going back to your recruiting, why do you think that Urban kind of got away from that Cleveland pipeline? You know, he had that Glenville pipeline. Tressler had that Glenville pipeline going on, and then Urban Meyer kind of got away from bringing in players from Cleveland for the most part.
You know, that's funny that you bring that up because I often bring this up to some of my close friends. It's about I think he said maybe it's like some character issues or something like that. Like I'm not 100% sure, but like they wanted to recruit high character guys.
Wasn't the last, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 guys he got from Glenville was Eric Smith and Marshawn, right? And he didn't get anybody else after that, right?
I believe so, but they did. They just recently got a commitment from Glenville. Like I think he coming in next year's class.
Wow.
Linebacker. I think his name is Arvale, something like that.
I see. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I just seen it.
He was playing at Euclid. I think he transferred to Glenville, so he'd be there for like his last year or something. But yeah, he just committed to Ohio State, so they back. I guess they back to going to Glenville again.
Okay, it's the man as a honorary member of the Silver Bullets, man. What are we gonna see this year, man? I was a little disappointed. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm not as strong. I'm not as much of an O State fan because I went to Maryland. So some of my Big Ten ties is in College Park now, but I'm still with the Buckeyes. Like shoot, when I was
in Maryland, but you're still an Ohioan.
Yeah, listen, I wore a Braxton Miller jersey to the Maryland. You remember Tyrus? You remember that Maryland the game when Dwayne Haskins was playing? It was like 50-something. I was at that game in College Park.
That was a special game because I think he's from there, right?
Yeah, he's from the area, and I wore a Braxton Miller jersey there, and I got so many side eyes in the student section. Listen, they was looking at me crazy.
When we played there, I think it might have been the 2014 season we played
55-0.
And yeah, because let me tell you what happened though. Let me tell you why this happened. So we get there and we walking in, and the fan section or the student section goes overrated, right? So Coach Meyer gets upset, like overrated. Like he said, we gonna run the score up today. Like for some odd reason, that really pushed his button, and I was like, hey, yeah, whatever. But to answer your question about the defense, what I'm hearing from practices is that the defense does look night and day from what it was for the past couple of years. So we can't expect them to be a good defense. They are expecting them to be top 10, top 5. I'm not naive to believe that in the first year on the defense, everybody learning the new defensive scheme, that they just gonna click right there and just be top 5. If they do that, then power to them. They should hold the trophy up real quick. But I'm going to say that this defense has the players and the talent to be a top 25 defense. Even last year, we got to see glimpses of it. Even though the defense was bad, it was players that made plays. We need them to do that on a consistent basis. And the number one thing that's been this whole offseason has been about toughness. These guys got to be able to bang in them trenches. Because if you're going against them Alabamas and them Georgias, me speaking from experiences, you got to be able to get down there and bang, because they bringing it every play, and you have to be able to match that energy. And if you can't do that, they will run you out of the stadium. So I think that this offseason, they spent the whole offseason trying to work on that mindset and try to become more tough mentally and physically, so that they're able to be that silver bullet defense again.
Yeah, I heard. Then Chris Styles told us the other day that a player told him that they they weren't physically there last year, man, against the team up north.
It's a tough pill to swallow. Somebody tell you that basically they saying you soft. Like, if you play football, you call somebody soft, that's like the ultimate disrespect. So, I mean, it is what it is. You got to change the tape. If you don't want people to think you soft, when you turn that tape on, you got to be able to put some good tape out there to show that you tough and you ain't soft.
I wish Willie was here, man. I need you to explain to him why them Buckeyes gonna smack up them boys up north this year, man.
You know what the thing about it is, and I was talking about, I forgot who I was talking to. It was recently. It's been so long since we lost to them that kids that come in now, it's like it's expected. Like, oh, we're gonna beat team up north. We're gonna go to the Big Ten, win that, and we're gonna be in the CFP. Like, it's happened so many years in a row that it's like they don't understand like the stuff that goes into it. You think you could just walk out on that field and it's just gonna happen because you at Ohio State. That's not true. Like, you have to actually be good and work and be physically tough and all of these things. And I think last year was just a wake-up call for them. I think it was something that they needed, because from Urban Meyer to when Ryan Day took over, it's just been all glitz and glory. It's just been everything is, yay, we're winning the games. And I think last year was the first time that the program got smacked in the mouth and they was like, oh my goodness, we need to hit the reset button, because we fell in love with this high-powered offense, and the defense just been tagging along for years. It's like, yeah, we good. Our offense got us. But last year it came to show that, defense still win championships. And we seen that obviously Georgia won it all and they had the number one defense. So it still holds weight.
I was telling some of my homeboys the other day, if I'm mistaken, I think last year was the last year that anybody that Urban Meyer ever recruited was on the team. I think everybody on the team now.
I believe it.
Yeah, everybody on I think it's officially the Ryan Day era. So now I'm watching them, man. I want to see what he's gonna do. I hope they win it all this year, man.
No, if the defense is, like I said, I'm not asking them to be top 5 or anything. If they can be just top 25, that offense is so stacked. They just need to be able to hold teams to at least 21 or under. And I think the offense, with the players that they got, they can be able to score over 21 points, obviously.
Well, we got a question from our audience, and their question is, what are your thoughts about opening up against the overrated Notre Dame? Because isn't Notre Dame ranked in the top 5 now?
Yeah, they top 5. My thoughts on it is, I think it's great for the atmosphere and it's great for the program, because everybody wants to see what this team is going to look like. You lost some key players on offense. You lost Chris Olave and you lost Garrett Wilson. So are you able to replace those guys? We think we are. Obviously, JSN was electric last year, and losing those two, who's going to step up on offense? Is this offensive line going to be able to start run blocking like they used to. I mean, last year we got away from it. We was throwing the ball about 40 times a game. And if y'all know, traditionally, Ohio State is known for running the ball. And we got away from that due to the fact that we were running 4 offensive tackles instead of having those traditional guards. So they ended up getting a whole new offensive line coach in there, Justin Scott from UCLA, and they're putting those traditional guard bodies back in there. So it'll be interesting to see if they can open up these gaps and have a more balanced attack on offense. That's what we want to see on the offense. As far as the defense goes, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. It's gonna be a little skewed because I don't want people to get out there. If they get out there and dominate Notre Dame, I don't want y'all to get the false hope that the defense is back. It would show that they're headed in the right direction. But Notre Dame is starting. They got a new quarterback that they're starting for the first time this year. They
got
just
a new
lost,
coach.
They got a new coach, and they just lost their top wide receiver that was returning. So the only weapon that they have that anybody knows of is the tight end because he's legit. And if you let a tight end beat you at Ohio State, then we
I was
need
just
we need to go down there and we need to go blow the whole
yeah, I
thing
was
up.
just reading a report today that I know they just lost. Notre Dame just lost they leading receiver to towards ACL.
Yep.
They just lost another receiver to I think an ACL
They
injury.
still
So
in there
they down.
They
So
running.
they down. They only got like 4 to 5 receivers on the roster. So
So I don't want people to get the false narrative that if we go out there and dominate Notre Dame and we won't really get a real test until about Wisconsin because the schedule is Notre Dame, Arkansas State, Toledo, and then I think Wisconsin. So I think you'll find out for sure against Wisconsin. But I think the schedule is perfect because it allows this defense to gain some confidence. After hearing all the criticism this whole offseason about how they've let everybody down and how they were soft, they're giving them games where they can really build themselves up. So when they get into the Big Ten play where it actually matters the most, I think they'll have confidence. They'll understand how to play off of each other in a live game. And I think that defense can be magical.
okay. All right. Well, man, let's switch it over a little bit, man. I know I ain't gonna sit here and talk O State with you all because man,
I got one more question though.
Go ahead.
I got one more OSA question. At what point do you think Ryan Day will start to get some pressure?
See, that's the thing. The thing about Ryan Day is that he don't need any outside pressure because he puts it all on himself. Like that guy is really competitive. Like the fact that he lost that game to the team of North, like he really lose sleep over stuff like that. So I don't think he don't need any outside pressure. And if you talking about as far as him losing his job, I don't think that
I'm alluding to that as well.
Yeah, I don't think he necessarily would ever do that because it's unfortunate that a 2-loss season at Ohio State is bad. But he's such a great guy and such a great coach, and he actually cares for the players that it's bigger than football. You know what I'm saying? Like he actually are grooming these men to be great men in society. And I think if you got somebody like that as a coach, it's kind of hard to get rid of a guy like that, especially when it's a lot of coaches in college football who just use you for your talent, and then once you out the door, they just forget about you. But this guy genuinely cares for his players, and I don't think you want to move on quickly from a guy like that, no matter what the wins or loss column says.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So
Go
man,
ahead, Marshawn.
no, sorry, man. We got my guy. He's one of the hosts of the pregame, postgame, halftime for our illustrious Cleveland Browns. So I know we only got him for a little bit more time. I wanted to get a few Browns questions in, man. We on me and my guy Tyvus is the co-pilot and the pilot of the Deshaun Dude train. Like we there, we riding with folks
for sure.
So let me ask you this, man. Like how like I see the reports all the time, and everybody is screaming out, "Oh, we should get Jimmy Garoppolo because of the success that he's done in San Francisco."
Yeah.
And I feel a little indifferent about that. I feel like
hold on now, because I'm biased because I played with.
I know. I was gonna say, man. Hey, listen. I'm not gonna disrespect San Francisco. I'm not gonna disrespect San Francisco. I actually like 49ers is. If I had to root for a team that wasn't away from Cleveland, it probably would be, but maybe it wouldn't be the 49ers. I don't know. It depends on the year. But no, man. So do you like? I feel like, in my opinion, Jimmy G. I mean, he had a top 5 defense, and he had a top 2 rush offense, and he had a pretty good line. I'm not saying if you gave Jacoby Brissett that he would do the same thing, but at the end of the day, I've never seen Jacoby Brissett with a offense like there is in Cleveland.
Okay.
Do you think Jacoby Brissett can maintain for however we don't know how many games there is, but for however long that Deshaun Watson is, I, I'm not gonna throw a number out there. Do you think Jacoby can
Well,
can
right
live
now,
for it?
as it stands
Yeah,
today, it's
for
6
six
games.
games. Yeah, for 6 games.
Yeah.
Let's just stick
All
with
we can
six.
go off of is 6 games right
Yeah,
now. So, what are you asking me? Will we be okay with Jacoby Brissett for let's
six
say
games.
what I will tell you is this: I've been in the locker room with before, and Jacoby Brissett has been there from OTAs every day. He's been through any adversity. He's battled with these guys. You see him on a day in, day out basis. He's probably doing extra work, and everybody on the team is seeing that. And I think when his numbers call, he'll be ready to go. I think that honestly, you owe it to him to at least allow him to start game one because he's been there. There's no way you're going to get another quarterback that's going to come in there, whether it was Jimmy G or whoever. It's going to be hard to get a quarterback to come in there. Like say they do it, decide to do it next week. It's so hard to get a quarterback to come in there and learn that playbook and be able to, and you expect him to go out there in week one after learning the playbook for a week. So I think you would be doing yourself a disservice by doing that. I think Jacoby Brissett is the safe bet for week one. I think you have to assess how he does things, how the offense is clicking. I think Kevin Stefanski is smart enough to call plays to know how to put Jacoby Brissett in the best position to win. You obviously we're going to lean heavy on the run game. You're going to throw some pass. You got Amari Cooper, who's he gonna do his thing. He gonna get open, and I think it's just all about calling plays that's manageable for Jacoby Brissett. My only issue with Jacoby Brissett is that once it gets later in the season, people are going to stack the box. People are going to roll the coverage towards Amari Cooper. People are going to say, you know what? Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt is not winning this game. If we're going to lose this game, Jacoby Brissett is going to have to drop back 30 times, and he's going to have to march them down the field. If he does that, we're going to clap our hands. The Browns deserve to win. Can he do that is the question. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. He'll have to show that to me. But as of right now, I think he does deserve to be the week one starter.
Yeah, I mean, offensively, I mean, not only, I mean, I know our running backs are going to figure out, a lot into our game plan, but, do you have Jacoby start off with a lot of screens to the running backs as well to get that passing game going? Because also you had a lot of issues with wide receivers and they kind of going down like flies right now. So do you involve your running backs more in the passing game?
I hate everybody keep using this dropping like flies term. But anyway,
if I had another euphemism, I'd use it.
It's been a very hot take. But what I think is, I think you have to, if I'm Kevin Stefanski, the way that I'm rolling this is I'm rolling. Typically, he's gonna run the offense the same way he's been running it. You're gonna start off running the ball. You establish your run game, and off a run, you run play action. And these play action passes is usually some over route, which is probably 8 to 10 yards. I think Jacoby Brissett is managed. He can hit an 8 to 10 yard route. I mean, if Baker Mayfield was able to do that with a hurt shoulder last year, sometimes I think Jacoby Brissett can handle it. The Browns, everybody looks at it like the Browns was terrible. The Browns was in a lot of games last year, and they did it with the banged up quarterback. However you want to spin it. You could say Baker Mayfield was good. You could say he was bad. You could say he was injured or whatever. But at the end of the day, the Browns had an opportunity to win a lot of games last year, and they did it with a hurt quarterback. So if you had a healthy quarterback, I think he's able to make those passes, and I think the Browns actually can win a lot more games, especially if that defense plays the way that I know it should.
Yeah, also too, the Browns had issues with putting up points as well. So they were in a lot of games, but they, had the inability to score more than 17 points. Do you foresee this offense being able to put up more points to actually be in games and win games, considering the circumstances that we got going on right now?
Well, I think it will be one of those situations that the Browns this season, if the roster stands as it is right now, especially at the wide receiver position, we'll be seeing a lot of 10-7, 10-3 type games because I don't think that they can go score for score with somebody. Like if Kansas City came into town, I don't think they can withstand a shootout with Kansas City or something like that. They don't have the necessary weapons at the wide receiver position. So I think what the game plan will be this year is to play great defense and run the ball, get a lead, and just run clock manage the rest of the game. Because Jacoby Brissett whether you like him or not, the one thing positive about Jacoby Brissett is that he does know how to take care of the football, which means he won't turn it over, which is what you want out of a quarterback. At worst, just don't turn the ball over. We can make it through the game if you don't throw no interceptions. And I think that this team is good enough to win games. Like I said, it won't be no big scoring games, but if that defense comes to play, which they will have some added motivation because defense is not crazy. Like you look over there and you see your star quarterback, Deshaun Watson, isn't there, and you see that they're not scoring and making plays, it's going to put a chip on their shoulder. Like we have to step up. We have to hold these guys to under 21, under 14 points a game. And I think they have the talent to do so. You're returning almost every guy that you had last year, and you got some young guys that can step in there and be effective if need be.
Okay. Who's it, man? So you say you're in the locker room every day. Who's a guy that's probably on the bubble roster that you could see making the team this year, whether that be on offense or defense? Who's a guy that?
A guy who I thought was on the bubble would have been Demetric Felton, but once Grant went down, I think he kind of solidified his spot in the return game. But they do like him as slot, so it'll be interesting to see if he can be effective as slot. He does run some pretty decent routes for a guy who's a slash running back. So it'll be interesting to see if they get him involved in this offense more. Schwartz is a guy that got to start making some catches. We've been seeing a couple of it in practice as of lately. Obviously, that preseason game was a total disaster.
They've been calling him a track guy on the social media, man.
You know what? I just tweeted about this. It's one of those things that, you can look at it like that, but at the same time, Jamar Chase last year in the preseason dropped a ton of passes to the point where everybody was like, this guy went like what, second or third in the draft? He went out there and had a magical season. So for sports, yeah, football might not be his number one sport, but he might quote unquote be a track guy, but I think catching the ball is all about concentration. You have to be able to look the ball all the way in. If you're not a naturally gifted catcher, you have to focus on it more. And I think his problem is he's so busy trying to catch it and get gone that he's not looking the ball all the way in. So I think that's what he has to do. Once he learns how to catch the ball and concentrate, get it, make the catch, then he can use his speed. But I think he's out there thinking too much and he's moving too fast.
Okay. All right.
My question for you is, what are we going to do about center? I don't want to use the same thing dropping like flies, but at what point do we get JC Tretter on the phone and get him back here?
Well, I think you definitely have to pick the phone up and have a conversation with him for sure. Obviously, Joel said that he thinks that the NFLPA has him being the president of the NFLPA has something to do with it.
Men are petty, man. Y'all be petty.
I can see that, but at the end of the day, you have to be able to put those things aside and do what's best for your organization. And if this is a guy who can come in, who knows the playbook, and he's a leader amongst his peers, you have to at least get on the phone with that guy and see if you can bring him back. But Ethan,
so they won't bring him back because he's the president of the.
He said that he thinks that's why he's not employed currently, is what he said.
Wow.
He thinks that him being the president of the NFL, because he was the guy that spoke out loud during the COVID, all that. Like, we're not practicing. So, and I don't like that. It's some type of beef, but
and the Browns got that game moved too as well. So they probably didn't like that.
Yeah, it's one of those things that that you got to get due to the situation that your roster is currently in. You owe it to these guys that's been out there, busting their butts. No matter who's at quarterback, you still owe it to these guys that stuck through this thick and thin, because they didn't ask for all this criticism and all this backlash that they're getting. So you have to go all in on this thing. You went all in to get Deshaun Watson, so you might as well don't stop there. Just keep on going all in on this year. So, and with Ethan, he's a guy who was in Seattle. He's started some games, so he has the.
Did you play with him when you was there?
I don't remember if he was there when I was there or not. I think he came after me, to be honest with you. I think Justin Britt was the center when I was there. But he has experience as playing in games as a starting center. So if need be, they're good with that. If he go down, we in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty much all I have for you.
Unless you want to stay a little longer, we can still talk a little bit Browns. Or if you gotta go, you can go as well too.
I know he said he had to go do a podcast at 7. So
A podcast.
yeah.
All right, y'all. Thank y'all for having me on.
Man, no problem, man. We definitely gonna have you. We gotta wait till when the season get in a
Yes.
little bit.
Just
I'm
let me
gonna let
know.
you get a couple more hot takes in. Giannis, he said Giannis is the GOAT, Rachel. So we're gonna let that one. We're gonna let that one slide. But I'm gonna wait till the basketball season get in. Then we're gonna bring you back on, man, and we're gonna see how Giannis is doing.
Listen,
Nah, we want him back on for football.
Your problem, Marsha, is that you don't see it yet. It is cool. Like I used to say Kevin Durant was the greatest, and
He is.
a lot of people thought I was crazy. But about 10 years later, everybody's like, "Oh, Kevin Durant's the greatest." I'm like, "Bro, I said that 10 years ago," and I feel the same way about Giannis. So, like I said, it's one of those things that I just see it early before anybody else, and I'm not afraid to voice my opinion. You'll eventually see it one day, and when you do, you'll be like, "Man, he was on to something." But I'm
gonna remember this date. Then I'm gonna write it down.
Wait, so let me just for clarification, you trying to say Giannis gonna be the best ever?
Yeah, Giannis the best to ever dribble the basketball for sure. Name me somebody better. In a game of 1-on-1, who gonna beat Giannis?
Kevin Durant.
He's not. He will beat Kevin Durant.
Are we talking about current or past or anything
like
that?
Whenever.
Kevin Durant.
I mean, as much as I can't stand Michael Jordan, obviously.
I think he'll smoke Mike.
He would. Really?
Yeah, I think he'll smoke
so?
Mike. I think Kobe would get him. Kobe would smoke him. Kobe would kill him.
I don't think he would, man. Listen, all I know is this. I'm gonna leave you, and I'm gonna leave you with this. Okay, two things I'm gonna leave you with. One, at the age of before he turns 27, you could compare him to Michael and LeBron, who is arguably the greatest to ever do it. Those two, everybody would say you either gonna lean one way or the other. Before he's won a ring, and he's got I think he got 2 MVPs.
Okay.
And he was a 5-time All-Star, something like that. And I think every one of those two, I don't think neither one of them had a ring up until 27. So he's already beat him on that. He's tied LeBron with MVPs at the age of 27. Mike, I think, only had one. And I think LeBron had more All-Stars. And I think Mike might have had one more than him. So if you're going off of that, I mean, at the end of you would definitely take Giannis's stats on that. And on top of that, last year, LeBron James went up against Giannis, and the last game that they played against each other, you know how many points Giannis had that game?
Probably like 40.
Giannis had 55 points. Oh, LeBron James. So it's not too much that you can tell me.
LeBron about 40 right now, though.
They still call him the GOAT, Rachel.
LeBron also was about to win the scoring title last year. So what are we talking about?
Hey, Rachel, he probably better than LeBron, but he ain't better than KD. Tyrus ain't ready for this
Listen,
argument.
Okay, so let me argue with that. So this is the thing. So how about this? Check this one. So Kevin Durant is known for what? He's a great shooter. Yeah. Right? Do you know that Giannis and him almost had the same points per game, and all Giannis does is shoot twos? Did you know that? Isn't that amazing?
How many games Giannis played?
Probably the same amount.
KD played like 50-something games last year.
Oh, well, if anything, that should hurt Giannis even more. That should hurt Giannis points per game even more.
Giannis up there dunking.
That means if he played more games than Kevin Durant and still had almost identical points per game, that means that he did it on a more consistent basis. That means he was putting up points consistently. Like to know, wait a minute.
Who you talk to make you feel this way, Tyler?
To know that a guy is going to the cup, that's all he's going to do is go to the cup, and you can't do nothing about it. Come on, man. What are we talking about?
Tyrus been hanging out. Hey, you know what it is? Tyrus wanted him. He was in San Francisco. He wanted him to go to the Bay. He probably was on the head of that Giannis to Golden State band.
When Kevin Durant went to Golden State, that was the day that I officially stopped being a fan, because he wasn't raised right. I respect people. I'm a guy that got it out the mud, and I respect people that get it out the mud. Not somebody.
Do you think Brian got it out the mud?
No, he went to Miami. He took the easy way out
Okay,
too.
all right. Just
No,
making
what he
sure.
did
Just
was
making
different
sure.
though.
Okay, just
How?
making sure.
He didn't go and join a team that had already won a whole bunch of titles and was
I
a
mean,
dynasty
yeah,
already.
but he still paired himself with a bunch of superstars.
Yeah, he did, but it was
Giannis
still a little
stayed.
different than Kevin Durant.
Giannis started with the Bucks and stayed with the Bucks and
Yeah,
got
and
it
he
out.
built that franchise. I'll give him that. I'll
He
give
got it
that
out the
to
mud.
him.
Yeah, like what you mean?
Yeah.
What you mean? My boy Giannis get it out the mud like that. He like me. I respect that.
One last question,
Kevin Durant
Tyvis.
wasn't raised right. He wasn't
One
raised
last question. What was it like playing with somebody as handsome as Jimmy G?
I don't think he's fine. I really don't.
I'm sorry, Jimmy
Then
G.
again, I don't think no man is fine. I don't even think I'm fine. So therefore, I would never look at another man and tell him.
Y'all know when another man is a decent looking
Hey,
guy.
since you don't, hey, that was that. No, that's the wrong question to ask him. The right question is asking. I actually got. Damn, we're gonna keep you here longer than we got. I'm gonna give you this one question. Give me your best Richard Sherman story, and since you're a DB, who would you rather have? You can't. You gotta take your bias out of this.
Okay.
Richard Sherman or Asante Samuel?
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a good one. All right, my best Richard Sherman story. So the first time me and Richard like started talking, because me and him got like I look at him like a big brother. We got like a big brother, little brother relationship. And he called me. As a matter of fact, he just called me yesterday and we were sitting there talking. But anyway, this is how our relationship got to where it was. So I'm a rookie in Seattle, right? And I was one of those guys that they be like, carry my pass, Rook. And I was one of those guys like, you carry my pass. What you talking about? I'm about to carry your pass. So one day we in the locker room and they're talking about a drink from Starbucks. He talking about a caramel frappuccino. So I hear it over, and I say that sounds like some female stuff. Like what type of person gets a caramel frappuccino? And after I said that, it's like he looked to argue with me and want to fight me. It was like I don't know what happened, but that was just for some odd reason I said that comment and it really hit him hard. And he made it his mission to try to make my life a living hell from there on out. But it was funny. And to answer your question, Asante or Richard Sherman, they both really good. And they both, I think Asante got more picks. And it ain't Asante or Richard Sherman. That's a good one. That is a good one. Obviously, I'm kind of biased because Sherm is my boy, but Asante was like one of my favorite players growing up. This is a good question.
Lee, send you off on a tough one, man.
That's a good one. I would personally take, no bias included.
No bias.
I would personally take Richard Sherman.
Okay.
Why? Because I think he does more. Like not Asante Samuel does come up and make tackles, but Sherm like fits the run pretty well. Like he was at a point in time, he was like one of the best tackling corners in the game. He did travel. Asante traveled, but Asante, they both preferred the left side or the right side, however you want to look at it from a defensive part, is the left. The only thing I like about Asante is Asante do get them picks, man, and that's hard to that's like the single best thing that you could do as a DB is get picks. Like he was not only getting picks, he was getting pick sixes. You know what? I would take it. Forget that. I'm taking Asante. I'm taking Asante.
Okay. It's time to see what I see.
Yeah, I take Asante.
I got clown for saying Asante was a.
The thing about it is, and he said it on the I'm an Athlete podcast when he was like, people respect Revis all the time because Revis held them to 31 yards or something like that. But would you rather give up 31 yards and 3 PBUs, or would you rather have 2 picks in the game and 1 go for 6? Everybody would definitely say 2 picks in the game and 1 go for 6 at quarter. So I would probably take Asante.
Yeah. I appreciate that, man. I got some. I feel validated now.
It's true. I take Asante.
All right, dog.
All
Well,
right, y'all.
Tyvis,
I
yes.
appreciate y'all for allowing me to come on and
Yeah,
bless
for
y'all
sure, man.
podcast.
For
I
sure.
hope that I did well. Just thank y'all
You,
so much for this opportunity. I really do appreciate it.
how can people get at you, Tyvis?
You can follow me on Twitter or Instagram at one Tyvis. Or you can catch me at 97 the fan in Columbus. I'm bouncing around shows, but I'm on there at
Hmm.
some point of the day. So just check it out. And I'm doing the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show every Wednesday. We're gonna switch to Fridays, and then coming in like 2 weeks, I'm gonna be on virtually on Fridays, and the Browns Radio Network for pregame, postgame, and I don't do halftime shows yet, but maybe eventually I'll do the halftime show.
Okay, so you're doing a lot. Congratulations for all the wonderful endeavors that you got going on, and thank you so much for coming on today. And hopefully, you'll join us again soon.
Absolutely. Anytime y'all need me, just hit me up.
All right, thank you so much, Tyvis. You
All right,
take care.
y'all too.
All right, now it's Tyvis Powell, the Ohio State University national champion, former professional football player, the Cleveland Ultimate Sports Show. He's doing a lot. Thanks, Marshawn. That was a great guest that we had. We're going to go ahead and take a break. We're going to be right back. You're listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM. We'll be right back.
To be alive, song service. Blessed to be alive. Friday, August 26th, 7 p.m. At the Second Ebenezer Baptist Church, 1881 East 71st Street. Blessed by four, bringing it from Duncanville, Alabama, along with the fantastic house-shaking spiritual believers of Cleveland, with MC Miss IKG and special words by Nicole Ward, mother of the Cleveland Browns, Denzel Ward. Visit the TNL Christian Bookstore. For information, call 216-777-2888. That's 216-777-2888. Blessed to be alive, song service. Starring Blessed by Four, live. Friday, August 26th, Second Ebenezer Baptist Church. Presented by Gaines Funeral Home. And make them know your name. You got to be there. Welcome back to Her in the Huddle with Rachel Hill, the First Lady of Sports.
All right, welcome back to Her in the Huddle, WOVU and 95.9 FM. Remember, you can always keep us locked here at your dial on 95.9 FM. You can listen to us on the WOVU app, so you can download that and take us with you on the go. You can also listen to us online at WOVU.org. You can always call the station at 216-271-0959. We just finished talking with Tyvis Powell, great guest. He got a lot going on, so make sure you check him out and follow him on Twitter and see everything he got going on. Marshawn, you didn't get a chance to give your opinion of the Cleveland Browns pregame, the Cleveland Browns, not pregame, but preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. How do you think that the Cleveland Browns looked on Friday?
For the first couple of minutes, whew, my goodness. I tweeted out immediately. We look horrible. But I mean, when you hear that Stefanski talk back and say how he think that Deshaun Watson just really had the jitters, it makes sense now. But once Josh Dobbs got in, we looked like the Cleveland Browns. We looked like
A
a
competent team.
comparable team. Yeah, we look like a team that belong on that field. Because at first, for a second, I was like, hey, for a second, I questioned myself, like, damn, did we really should we really traded Baker for a second? For a second, I ain't gonna lie, I questioned myself, but then, you know, no, we look good, you know. I really like two people that stood out for me in that game is Martin Emerson. He looked like a man amongst boys, the way he snatched the pick
Mm-hmm.
six away from the receipt for the Jaguars receiver, and then the defensive end Isaiah Thomas, the 7th round pick out of Oklahoma. The
Mm-hmm.
way he came around, it just looked like he's been working. It looked like he got something to prove because you would think with a guy that's a 7th round pick, your roster spot ain't solidified. So I like the way that he's coming along. He's making the impact. So I'm looking forward to what we're gonna do this week. It's Philly. Philly probably a little upset about what happened to the Jets. So I don't know if they're gonna try to bring some aggression our way this week, but I'm looking forward to this joint practice against Philly
Yeah.
and what feels like an NFL Sunday, a 1 o'clock game for us on Sunday. So I'm gonna go
Mm-hmm.
hang out downtown and get that little regular season tease is what I like to call it.
You going to the game?
No, I ain't going. I I don't unless I know all the starters gonna play. I don't waste my time on preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I did go to Detroit to the Lions and Falcons, but it's because a friend of mine had bought the tickets. But like it wasn't. It's just a preseason game. Like I ain't breaking my neck to go to. If I because at the end of the day, Rachel, what you gonna do? You get there, pay $10 for a beer. Ain't about to.
I don't drink at athletic facilities.
Well, I do.
I don't
Well,
waste my
unless I'm not
money.
working. Unless I'm not
Because
working.
a beer ain't
Unless
$10.
I'm
A
not
beer is
working.
more than
It's
$10,
like
ain't it?
$15. They be
Yeah.
taxing you. They be
Yeah.
taxing you.
I ain't
They be,
about to waste.
so I'm
Now, is
not.
that
I'm
for
not
a
about to
tall
go.
boy or a regular beer?
A tall. I probably like a tall boy.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
last
I
time
ain't.
I went to a Browns preseason game, me, my brother, and my cousin bought a 40 pack of beer. And we drank as many as we could before we win the game. That was the worst idea I ever made. The worst decision ever. But no, I'm excited, man. As far as to
Was
see.
y'all drunk?
Oh my god, it warmed us up, but yeah, we was toasted. But no, back to the Browns. I'm looking forward to see if Anthony Schwartz have a bounce back here. I like I like how Tyvis explained that. We know football ain't his first sport. He's a track guy, but I'm looking to see what he's going because we need him. It ain't like we could just get rid of him. You know,
Yeah.
I've been saying for a long time. I've been saying even on social media. When's the last time you've ever heard of a good wide receiver to ever come out of Auburn University? Can you name one?
No,
Exactly. So
absolutely cannot.
until we find a replacement for him, we kind of need him. So
I mean, how many players overall have really came out of Auburn University?
Cam, well, no, they have some good ones. Cam was good. Remember Cadillac Williams? He was good. They have some good defenders. Yeah, dime a dozen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Auburn put some here and there, but specifically receivers. Remember we drafted Ricardo Lewis.
No, I don't remember him.
Yeah, Ricardo Lewis was a receiver we drafted a couple years, not too long ago. He didn't pan out too good. So at some point, man, you gotta look at the pattern, look at the trend. Certain schools, in my opinion, give you certain positions. Like I'm not going to Ohio State for a linebacker right now until I see difference.
Yeah, until
But
the
I'll go
defense
for a
changes.
wide receiver. I'm not going to.
Yeah, but wouldn't you want to go to make it better though? If you a good player, wouldn't you want to go make it better and have all the light shine on you?
Yeah, but I mean, these kids now is looking at what's their best chance of getting to the league.
Also, money getting paid too. So now you got that into play. The NIL stuff. So you can make money at Ohio State. So that definitely,
Not
I think
everybody
would get
make
a
money though. You
yeah,
think
but
you think all 80 of them kids is making money? I don't believe that.
well, no, not the sorry ones, but not nobody that
Sorry?
play.
They ain't
Now I was
sorry.
about to say nobody that play for Ohio State is sorry.
Golly.
Let me
That's
let me
ruthless.
rephrase that.
How you gonna
You,
talk down on your alumni like
I,
that,
I
man? Your
mean
precious Buckeyes.
the people that aren't really contributing that much.
Ruthless.
So I didn't mean it that way. I should have corrected myself. I didn't mean it that way. My niece leaves for Ohio State on Wednesday.
Really?
Well, tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah,
Was she
she
studying? That was the one in the studio?
huh?
Is that the one I wasn't when I did last time I did I was at home. You had somebody in the studio. Was that if she
Oh
in
no,
it? Oh,
no.
okay.
She's a pre med.
What is she? Oh, she's studying pre-med?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so technically she goes down there Friday, but they leaving Wednesday to go down to Cincinnati, and then from there
The
they're going to
nasty
Ohio
natty.
State.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so
I ain't
kind of
never been to
proud of that.
Cincinnati. You ever been to
Oh, you
Cincinnati
ain't.
before, Rick?
Yeah, you
Mm-mm.
ain't missing nothing.
No, I
Some of
ain't
my
never been
best
to the
friends from
nasty natty.
college. I don't really got no friends from college from Cleveland. They all from Cincinnati. So that was my first
Cincinnati.
time going to Cincinnati was to visit my friends
Yeah.
from college.
Do they
So
live in
yeah.
Cincinnati or do they live in Kentucky?
No, they lived in Cincinnati.
Oh, okay.
They were actually from Cincinnati, but
Okay.
pretty much is Kentucky to them. So, because honestly, I was reading an article and it's kind of funny not to get off on a tangent, but they were talking about people from like the Cincinnati area don't really feel part of Ohio, feel
Because they
like they're
not.
part of Ohio. They
They
feel like they
Kentucky.
they
That's
from
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
I
So
will, I will forever say Cincinnati is Kentucky.
yeah, but you're from a whole city in Ohio.
Yeah. I'm from the best city in Ohio.
That's like the Toledo people and Michigan and stuff
That's
like that.
Michigan.
So that's weird to me. We didn't really get a chance to ask him about what was it like to play in that game, but hopefully we can have him back on in the future. So how about this Guardians right now? I was about to
I'm
say, how
loving
about
it.
something else?
Hey, I'm probably the most critical person of the Guardians. I'm loving it. I'm
Yeah.
actually going to a game this week. Look, Rachel, this is the most games I've ever been to. Guardians, I'm going to see the White
Really?
Sox. Yeah, I ain't never been to this many games in a year.
What night you gonna be there?
The Sunday, 21st.
I was gonna say me and my dad was gonna be down there on Saturday.
My
You should come
dog.
visit with us.
Oh, man. It's my dog, man.
We got some work tickets, so
Okay.
we was gonna be down there on Saturday. But yeah, so they split the doubleheader yesterday. They had Xavion, I forgot what his name was. They called him up for AAA. He gave up 3 runs, but unfortunately it was Eli Morgan that couldn't hold up, and also Brian Shaw. So they lost the second game of the doubleheader. I believe it was 7-5. The Guardians, tried to rally back late. Right now, they got a 2-game lead over the Minnesota Twins right now. I believe the Twins and the White Sox are tied right now.
Yes.
So
They both, yes.
So they hot on our heels. So
Yes.
they absolutely have to win these games against Detroit.
Yes. No, for sure. Like they got to take advantage of this next really of August, to be honest. Because if I'm not mistaken, we got the Padres for 2, and then we go to another division opponent. If I'm not mistaken, correct?
I'm looking up the schedule right now.
Okay, so we gotta take advantage of August. August and September is our months where we gotta stay strong. Can't go into October baseball looking weak. But I'm loving top to bottom what I'm seeing. Last time I went to a game, Oscar Gonzalez was playing, and I had my questions about him. My old roommate was like, "Man, nah, Oscar's the truth," and I'm liking what I'm seeing from him right now. Right now, you're seeing that Watito is one of the best, if not the best, manager in baseball. He took the youngest team and got us in playoff position. You know, Bieber is coming around. Bieber is starting to look amazing now. He's starting to look sharp. What is he? His last 3 games, last 3 starts, he had 7 Ks or more.
Yeah, quality
Yeah.
outings. Yeah, so
Yep.
you were right. So after they take on the White Sox this weekend, which is another huge series and the opportunity to put even more of a cushion in the AL
Hmm.
Central, you were right. They have the Padres, but the Padres are the new look Padres with
I don't
Juan
know.
Soto.
I
But
don't know, Rachel. They got
yeah,
they got they got
Fernandez
steroid
Tatis.
abusers on their team over there. I don't know. We might be able to get them now.
That was huge and shocking when I got
And
that
then
tweet.
hey, Rachel, listen. This guy is standing still on that lie. First it was the ringworm. Then his dad said it was something about a haircut. Like they standing still on that lie.
What?
Yeah, they said he got it from a ringworm. He had to use a ringworm, so he used the steroid, and it's just a whole bunch of different, you know. Man,
Yeah,
if
I
you take
mean,
steroids, you take steroids, bro. It's a stain on your career. You stand by that. You got to stand 10 toes on that.
and it's crazy because he's so young. Like I could picture him doing that a little bit older to keep the career going.
Mhm.
Because steroids, they make you heal up faster. I've
Mhm.
never really. I mean, I had to take a steroid because I had like a rash or whatever.
Mhm.
But I didn't develop superpowers from it, and I'm sure it wasn't illegal by Major League Baseball. But it's just like you young, you gonna heal up quick anyway. Why are you turning to steroids so early? I could see that being done later in the career, not while he's so young. So, that was huge and shocking because the Padres are, going all in right now and trying to win a World Series. And people was talking about, after that Juan Soto deal, they could easily see them, going up against the Yankees. But right now, you don't got one of your key players. So that's gonna be something that's hard for them to do. So that's something interesting. But they got a 2-game series with the Padres, not 3. And then after that, they go to play against the Mariners, a 4-game set against Seattle. So Seattle is ranked second in the American League West. So that'd be an opportunity to, win some games as well. Seattle, they went on like that 14-game winning streak, but I'm like, whatever. I think the Guardians still should be able to beat them. And then after that, they have the lowly Orioles to finish out August. So the Orioles, they actually are not the worst team in the American League East. The worst team in the American League East is actually the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, I actually got it. I had to stop talking track. One of my homeboys play Maxwell Costas. The guy I was trying to get to go on Willie's show. He plays for the rookie team for the Orioles, so I can't talk trash about the Orioles no more. I gotta actually pretend like I like them for a little bit.
Well, you can be factual about who they are.
Oh, they stink. I ain't gonna lie and say they don't stink. Oh, they stink. That's one thing I won't lie about. They absolutely stink. But you know how it goes. But yeah, man, I if the Guardians make the playoffs, I'll go sit in Progressive Field in the cold. I actually go watch them this year. I know they probably won't make it past the first round. But
yeah, I think
we're a year away, Rachel. We're a year away from raising another banner.
Yeah, that's what most people saying, but you never know. These young kids could surprise you because they've had 14 players come up, and a lot of them have been impactful to the point where a veteran like Franmil Reyes, you designated him for assignment, so he gone.
Yeah, but I think who do you trust in the pitching rotation after Bieber and Tristan McKenzie? Who do you solidly say, okay, when we get to the playoffs, I know that he'll perform well? Bieber and McKenzie, I trust. I don't trust anybody after that. I even say Kyle Quantrill. I'll throw him up there. I trust at home, undefeated. I trust Kyle Quantrill. But outside them 3, who else do you trust?
I was going to say, if it's a series at home, I'm definitely trusting Kyle Quantrill. I don't think Zach Plesac is a bad pitcher. It's just when he pitches, there's no run support for him because he has less than a 4-point ERA. So I think he's 2-11 now, but there's no run support, and the average runs that they score when he pitches is 1 run.
Okay.
So that definitely will skew your stats, so that doesn't help. And if he doesn't give up a ton, not a ton of blowouts when he's up, I kind of trust him as a pitcher, to be honest. There's nothing you can do when your team behind you puts a 1 run. Okay. That's just, unfortunately, that's the luck of the draw and bad luck and, no run support. So I don't mind him. Aaron Savali has come back, and, he's slowly working, back. So I think by the time, by this season is over, he could get back to form, but, he hasn't looked too terrible in his outing. So it's all about, what that bullpen is going to do as well. And yesterday the bullpen didn't perform. So, that those are going to be the issues because when it comes to the playoffs, it absolutely boils down to pitching. So you're right. That starting rotation is going to be what we need. And, Aaron Savali, last year, he had a huge year last year and there was some anticipation. Could he possibly win a Cy Young coming into this year? And, he got hurt.
He got hurt down. I don't never want to call nobody a fraud, but he let me down.
Yeah, he got hurt. Well, this has been a great show today. Tyvis Powell was a great guest. Marshawn, thanks for getting him. This is our time. So the Guardians are playing tonight against the Detroit Tigers, so they need this win. But for Marshawn and for Rachel Hill, you've been listening to Her in the Huddle on WOVU 95.9 FM, and we are out of here.